Hey there, my gorgeous friends on the internet. In today's episode, we are going to be messing around with Python just for fun. It's so fun to actually go out and try out other programming languages and see kind of the fun little projects that you can put together. So if you don't know any Python and you want to just have some fun and come up with something quick, here is an awesome modern GUI that we're going to create that has the ability to download YouTube videos for you. So hope you're excited, and before we get going, I want to thank today's sponsor, Brilliant. I always been preaching this on my channel, but the best way to learn something is interactively, whether that's you following along on a Python project that I'm making on YouTube or through today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant offers you these amazing interactive courses in math, science, computer science, and more. Instead of just memorizing something, Brilliant takes you step by step through each problem, helping you train your critical thinking and creative problem-solving skills. Every problem comes with a step-by-step solution that helps you understand the reasoning for each step. I'm currently doing a computer science course that can be very beneficial from different areas in web development. If you want to learn more about data structures, maybe programming with Python, they also have stuff that gets you into AI. So if you're interested in neural networks, even cryptocurrency, there's loads of courses out there for you. So check it out. Join the millions that are already learning on Brilliant, and I have a special offer for you down in the description below. So head over to brilliant.org/developedbyed to get started, and the first 300 listeners will get 20% off the annual membership. So check it out and let's get going. Well, hello, so let's go. Isn't this exciting? We're doing something with Python, a bit different. Let's get out of that web development world for a second and have some fun. So we're gonna use Python. If you don't know anything about Python, then don't worry, because we're gonna do everything from scratch. So make sure you install it, download it for your Windows or Mac or whichever version, have it installed, and yeah, that should be it. It's kind of like Node.js, so you don't need to do too much about it. But there's other great websites where you can, I think it was called REPL, where you can just easily go, it's like an IDE, and then you can create here, let's see, create, and then you can do a Python project and hit create REPL. And you can mess around with it here as well if you want to. Anyway, let's get going. So what we're going to do is build a GUI that's going to be able to download my YouTube videos. So the first thing we're going to do is just make a new file called main.py. You can call it whatever you like. And next up, what we're going to do is install a couple of things here. So you're going to say pip install, not npm, we're using pip because we're on Python, and we're gonna do tkinter like that. That's one of them. Mine is already installed, but that lets you do GUI in Python. But we also have another one called custom tkinter, so install this as well. And this just makes it look not like Windows XP, because tkinter UI is quite ugly, so this adds another layer on top of it. And finally, we're gonna do pip install PyTube. All right, this is gonna let us download YouTube videos, and that's it. So we're gonna import them up here, and the way you do it is you say import tkinter, and we're gonna say import custom tkinter, and then import, let's do from PyTube import YouTube. All right, we get this big object here. All right, so that's everything that we need. Now what we're going to do is design the UI. So we're just going to do some system settings. If you want to do comments in Python, you can do it with a hash like that. And we're going to say system settings. So we're going to say custom tkinter set appearance mode, and we're going to say system like that. All right, so that's going to get the dark mode, light mode, whichever we're using. And this is not spelled correctly, so let me spell that correctly for you like that. Cool, so that's one. Next up, we can set a color scheme as well. So we can say set default color theme. I'm not sure why it's not recognizing it for me now, like the actual IntelliSense. It doesn't seem to be working, but it should be fine. All right, so that just sets up some of the defaults. And then what we need to define is our app frame. So like what's the size of it, what's the title of it, etc., etc. So we're just gonna make a variable and we're gonna call this app. And we're gonna say custom tickenter.ctk like that. That's gonna initialize it for us. All right, and then we can specify a geometry like that. And here is where we basically give the screen size, so the resolution. I'm gonna say 720 by 480 like that. So technically now if we run this and we say python main.py, okay, so we are having an error. That's why it's not working. So let's see what's up here. PyTube import. Okay, so I think we have some sort of importing errors because I have two versions of Python installed. So what we can do is go here and do Python select interpreter, and I'm gonna switch it over to 3.10. All right, in case you got that error, look at that, that solved it. And I think the IntelliSense works as well. So I can do app.title. Yeah, see, now it's being recognized. And then I can do, let's do YouTube downloader here. All right, so let's try to run this program. We're gonna say python main.py. And it's still not working, so there is something still wrong with this import. It says cannot import named YouTube. So let's see. Oh, it's an uppercase T here. All right, so make sure you specify that and then run it again. And it just closes. So what we need to do at the end is actually run this as kind of like run it as a loop. So we're gonna say run app. It's kind of like, you know, when you make an Express server in Node.js and you run listen to port 3000. It's something similar to that. So we're gonna say app main loop like that. And now if we run, look at that, we got a 720 by 480 window with a YouTube downloader title there. Perfect. People are taking the garbage away outside, so I apologize if it's a bit loud. All right, so we have our frame set up. Now we actually need some UI elements in there, right? So let's specify adding UI elements. And we're gonna keep this nice and simple. So we're gonna say title is equal to custom tickenter like that .ctk label. All right, we're gonna use a label, and this is just gonna be a text that says insert a YouTube link. All right, so every time you want to create a UI element, you use custom tickenter, and then you add a dot on it, and then you have labels, titles, buttons, and whatnot. Now the first argument here specifies where you want to put this UI element. In our case, we want to put it in our app frame, right? So we are gonna say app, and then we can add a text as well and say insert a YouTube link like that. And finally, what you need to do is take this title and say pack like that. And here you can also specify like some padding. So if I want to do padding X10 and padding Y10, we can do that here. All right, this just inserts it into it. I'm not gonna go into too crazy detail about styling this, but we're just gonna run it like that. We're gonna keep it in the center, which is fine. Cool. So it shows up, so that's pretty cool. So that's one. Let's try to add the link input. All right, we're gonna have a link input down here. We're gonna say link equal to same story. We're gonna see custom tickenter.ctk entry. So that's kind of the input, they use ctk entry. And again, we specify where we want to put it in the app. We can also specify a width, let's do 350, and a height of 40, like that. And then link.pack, right? Cool. We're not gonna specify any padding or anything. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, now one thing about this is I need to get that input somehow, right? So if I'm typing, I want to get this and maybe be able to send it to a function or something. So the way you can do that is With Tkinter, not custom Tkinter, again, this is just kind of like making the UI nicer on top of Tkinter. But in Tkinter, you have several methods and functions that you can use to help you get certain information from your UI. So in this case, what I want to do is add a variable to this that I can get. So let's call this text, just text variable, okay? And what we can do is say, let's do a URL variable up here, and we can call this tkinter.string var, like that. And now what I can do is pass this URL var in here like that. All right. And what this essentially is going to let me do is just use this URL var. So when we start inputting text, I'm going to have the latest info about what's in the input. So I can just get this info from here and then use it anywhere in my code. All right, so let's see. Cool. Let's make something else. What else do we need? We need a download button as well. So let's do download button. We're gonna say download equals to custom Tkinter. We can use a CTK button here. There we go. And here we're gonna say app. The text is gonna say download. And then here we can also run a command. Now what's a command? Basically, you can run a function here. All right, so I can say start download like that. And now every time you click on the button, it's gonna run the start download function. Now we don't have it yet, which is fine. So let's just go up here at the top and make a new function. So let's do it. Yeah, just straight here at the top, it's fine. So we can say def download. That's how you create a function in Python. You say def download, and then you do the colons at the end there. And now it's important here, the brackets. See, you want to make sure it's one tab in like that. And here, basically, we want to try to get the link and download the video. And then if it doesn't work, then we're going to throw an error. All right, so the first thing we want to do is say YouTube link. And that's equal to, now how do we actually get the data from here? Oh, I should call this start download as well, my apologies. So let's rename it start download. So when we click on the button, it actually runs this. And remember, we created this URL var here. So we can get the info from this link now. So the way you do that is say link.get, and that's it. That's gonna give you whatever is in this input. Okay, next up we're gonna say is YouTube. We're gonna call this, let's call this YouTube object, okay? And we're gonna set this equal to YouTube, this thing that we imported from PyTube, like that. And this takes in a couple of parameters. For now, we're gonna say, we're just gonna pass in the YouTube link, all right? Whatever they put in the input field. And make sure this is uppercase again, because otherwise it's gonna error out. So there we go, make sure you camel case it. Is it camel case? No, Pascal case. Perfect, and that should be it. And now from here, we can extract a bunch of information, such as, let's say YouTube. I can see YouTube object dot, and take a look at this. You can get captions, you can get the channel URL, you can get the title of the video if you want. See, there's loads of information that you can pull out. But for now, what we want to do is go into streams, like that. And here you can get audio only if you want to do something like an MP3. For now, let's just do get highest resolution, okay? But again, if you want to extract more stuff, you can expand on this quite easily. The docs are quite nice as well. Okay, so we just get the highest resolution video. That's perfect. Let's call this video, right? Is equal to YouTube object streams the highest resolution. Perfect. Okay, so we got that, which is perfect. And what else we're gonna do is try to download it. So the way you do that is say video.download, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And then here we can say except. So if we have an error, then we can say print. I'll just output it to the screen here. This is kind of like console log, right? I can say there, YouTube link is invalid. We're gonna add it to the UI in just a second. And here, right after this block, if everything goes well, then we can say print download complete. All right, and that should essentially be it for the basic functionality. We're gonna add a bit more to it, but I just wanted to have this so you can just kind of enjoy having a downloader in a very quick way. Okay, let's run the program. I don't have the button, damn it. Okay, so do download.pack. Otherwise, it's not gonna show up on the screen. Let's run that again. And there we go. Yeah, the defo needs some padding, doesn't it? Okay, cool. So let's do pad x equals 10, pad y equals 10. Okay, cool. Let's run that again. There we go. It's not stuck up there. Okay, so we can also watch the terminal, which is really cool. Let's try to download one of my videos. Here we go. So paste it in here. Let's go back to the console and hit download. And let's see. And it says download complete. And look at that, we have our video right there. Pretty damn cool, isn't it? That's pretty cool. Here we go. Look at that, full quality, no problem, perfect. Okay, so now let's just add a bit more functionality to this. Not functionality, but make it look a bit nicer. First off, when we download, I want this to update to the title here of the video. I also want to have a wee progress bar here so we can actually see when the video is downloading and like a percentage of it. This is extra. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, but I think it's going to be quite cool, so follow along. Okay, so isn't Python fun, everyone? I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, link input. Let's go below the link input and we're going to say finished downloading. All right, we're going to have that here. It's just the text that's going to pop up. So I'm going to say finish label is a custom to Kinter CTK label. Now what you can do is actually just have the text empty here. And once it finishes downloading, we can just add the text back. So I'm just going to pack it like that without any text. And as you can see, if I close this up, and I reopen it, you're not gonna see anything, which is perfect. Actually, it is there, but you cannot see it, which is fine. Cool. So now we can go up here when we run our little function, right? And I want to basically just update this finish label, right, without any text in it. So rather than saying print download complete, we can say finish label, we can say configure, and we can configure the text to say downloaded. All right, let's run that again and see. Download. And look at that, downloaded. Cool. So that works perfectly fine. Let me delete that. And what I want to do is also do the same for if they don't post a valid link here. So I can use the same finish label. So we're going to say finish label.configure. And we're going to say for the text, set that equal to download error, like that. Cool. Now let's do another thing here. What do we have? Okay, so it says insert your YouTube link. After it downloads, wouldn't it be cool if it actually displays the title of the video? So let's try to do that. Oh, and here we can also specify. Let's do a different text color for this. Set this equal to red, right? When it errors out. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm quite happy with that for now. And up here, let's try to do something else. Right before it downloads the video, let's go here and just say title.configure, and let's do the text equal to YouTube object. All right, we're gonna get a YouTube object from up here and just output the title of it. And that's it. And I also want to make sure that text color is gonna go back to white, just in case it turns red here with an error. Actually, that's on the label, so it should be fine anyway. Okay, but what I want to do is actually reset the finish label. So finish label dot configure, and we're gonna set it back to its original nothing, like that. Okay, cool. So let's give that a shot. So let's run this, and if the link is not valid, right? If I put something in like that, oh, it says downloaded. That's not good. And okay, so we definitely don't want that. Let's post the correct link in here. Look at that. So that gets the title, which is really cool, React Full Stack Course. But this is showing up in red and it says downloaded, which is not good, especially since it errored out. So let's take a look at this. What's wrong with this? Oh, so what's the problem is that we're running this regardless. So it's turning the text red, but after that it's still running downloaded. So let's just put it here in the try, right? After it finishes downloading, if I have an error, then we have download error. There we go. That makes sense. And when it finally gets it, then it downloads the actual video, and then it should display the message. So that works perfectly fine. Next up, this is optional. This caused me loads of stress, but if you want to add a progress bar, let's do that as well. So let's go down here. I'm gonna have a progress number and then a progress bar as well. So let's display like a progress percentage. All right, so progress, I'll just say P percentage. Okay, just to shorten it up, we're just gonna make a label here, CTK label app, and the text is gonna say 0%. All right, just like that, and then we're gonna say P percentage dot pack. All right, so that's one. And then we're gonna have a progress bar as well. Custom to Kinter.ctk progress bar. They have a specific progress bar here. And we're gonna just add a width of 400 to it. And this progress bar basically goes from, I'll show you. We're gonna set it to 0. It goes from 0 to 1. All right, so if it's 0.5, then the progress bar is gonna be halfway through it. So I'm gonna show you that in just a sec. We're gonna say pad x10, pad y10, just to give it a bit of space. But if I run that, see, it's halfway through. So let's set it initially to 0. How the hell are we gonna get the progress of that? Well, the PyTube library comes with a specific callback function that you can use on the downloader. Now, the code's a bit funny, but just follow along. So here on the YouTube object, it takes an additional parameter called onProgressCallback, and we can give it a function name, anything we want. So let's just call it onProgress. Cool. Now down here, I'm going to specify this function, onProgress, like that. Cool. So that should recognize it, which is perfectly fine. And here we have access to a couple of things. Again, this is coming from the YouTube class that we're importing from PyTube. So we have stream, we have chunk, a chunky boy, and bytes remaining. So we're gonna do some math, which is fantastic. And that's why you should check out Brilliant as well. We're gonna say total size. How do we get the total size? Well, we can access that from stream file size. So that's perfect, that's easy. how many bytes do we have downloaded? Bytes downloaded. So let's make a variable, and we can do total size minus bytes remaining. All right, we get this info from our parameter. Now to actually get the percentage of completion, let's set that equal to, we can do bytes downloaded divided by total size times 100. That's going to give us a 0 to 100%. Fantastic. And now what we can do is say, well, let's print this out, right? Percentage of completion. There we go. Let's run this and see what we get. So if I post in a YouTube link here, let's do this one. Cool, paste and run this. And there we go, 25, 52%, 79%, and done, downloaded. Cool, so it works. It works. We got these large numbers here, which we can just easily get rid of if we say, I'm gonna call this per. We're gonna say string int percentage of completion. All right, so what's this gonna do? Well, first of all, int, it's gonna get rid of any floating points, right? So all the decimals are gonna get rid of. And we're converting it to a string here at the beginning as well, so we can add it to the UI, because our progress, our p percentage label, if we configure it, it takes in a string, all right? So text equals to per, and I'm gonna add a percentage sign as well here, interpolate it like that. And now for this to actually work, we're gonna need to say p percentage dot update, all right? It's gonna update on every iteration like that. All right, cool. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if that works. Run this and paste the link in and run. 26, 52, yes! Amazing, well done. It works. Let's delete it again. And now to actually get the progress bar as well to update progress bar, we can say progress bar set. And I'm gonna turn this back into a float. Or we can actually, I think we can keep it an int. No, we need it to float because it's between 0 and 1. So let's say float percentage of completion divided by 100. So if you do that, that's going to give you a value between 0 and 1. All right, I think that's it, guys. Let's see. Close enough. That's pretty good. That works, lovely. And from here on, if you want to update anything else in the finished downloading, if you want to do something like make the progress bar blue, make a thread, blah, 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 feel free to do that. If you want more info on this custom to Kinter, head over to custom to Kinter on GitHub, and you can check out their documentation down here. Yeah, they have frames and everything, and they have examples that you can add to your application. Or if you want to move things around and style them, everything can be done through here. But that's really fun, isn't it? I absolutely love working with Python, to be honest. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this. Let me know what you do with it, if you add more functionality to it, and maybe a way to select the video quality. Let me give you a hint for that. You can find it on YouTube object.streams. This is going to give you back all the video resolutions. So maybe create a variable or something, an input box where you can click, select 720p, 1080p, and have it update. Check out YouTube streams. Perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out the courses down below. Check out Brilliant as well. Thank you for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.